Dear friends, today I am going to explain a psychological thriller movie Joker. So let's begin. The movie starts in a city where rich and poor people live together, but the rich people do not support the poor people at all. They have very high standards and do not consider the poor as anything. This movie is centered on the character Arthur, who lives in this city. He was living with his mother. He loved comedy and wanted to become a big comedian one day. His ideal was a man who used to host big comedy shows. He used to say, "One day I will be with him in his show." He used to work very hard for this. One day we see Arthur standing on a road carrying a signboard for the advertisement of a company. Some mischievous children appear there, but they come and tease him a lot and run away by stealing his signboard. Arthur is in the appearance of a clown. He runs after those kids to take back his signboard, but those kids make him run and hit that signboard on his face. As a result, signboard is broken and then they also beat Arthur very badly. Being disappointed, he directly goes to his boss and tells him everything that what the children did to him, but his boss scolds him. He says, "Are you in your senses? How can the children do such an act?" He says, "I will not even give you your salary." Arthur has low confidence, so he cannot speak in his favor here. He comes out of there very sad and thinks, "Am I so bad that no one believes me?" He comes to his home and starts dancing, but here we see that his body is quite weak. The next day Arthur meets his friend and tells him of those children. His friend tells him, "This is very wrong. You should have to care yourself." He gives him a gun and says, "Keep it with you, it will come in handy during your difficult times," but he refuses to take it, but forcefully he gives him. Then Arthur leaves for his house. He is on a bus and there is also a sitting child in front of him. He starts trying to make him laugh and that child starts laughing loudly, that the mother behind gets angry and says, "Don't disturb us." But Arthur starts laughing at it. Actually, it is told that the Ortha has a serious psychological issue and he can't control his laughter and starts laughing anywhere. Arthur gives a card to that lady in which everything is written about his disease. He comes home and starts taking his medicine. In fact, he was poor and this medicine was very expensive, so he used to take medicine from the government medical store. One day, he visits his psychiatrist and she says to him, "Show me your diary. What have you been writing?" As soon as she opens his diary, she finds a written statement that, "I don't want to die awfully as I have spent my life." Then from there he goes to his home. Then his mother asks him if any letter came from Thomas. Then Arthur says no, not even today. In this movie, Thomas has been shown as a very rich businessman, and people used to scared of him. His mother tells him that if Thomas comes to know about their condition, then he will definitely help. The next day, he encounters a single mother with her daughter on the way, returning to their home. Arthur begins to like her, but he returns to his house. His mother again asks about the same letter here. Arthur says, "He will not support us, and what is your connection with him?" The next day, we see that the single mother comes to his home. She tells him, "I have been noticing for some time that you are following me," and he says, "Yes, I like you." Then the girl starts laughing and soon both of them become friends, and the Arthur gets an offer of clown from another place. He goes to a children's hospital and dances there. Then the same gun falls out of his pocket. All the children get scared and the staff gets shocked. He is also fired from this job as the news spreads. He calls his boss and says, "It is just a toy gun." But the boss tells him, "Don't tell a lie. Your friend has revealed everything to me that you have taken the gun from him." Here the heart of the Arthur again hurts a lot, thinking his co-worker had forcefully given this gun to him. Then it is seen, Arthur is returning to his house by train. There are also 3 businessmen, who were the men of Thomas. They are harassing a girl, sitting on the train. Arthur starts laughing because of his mental disorder, and those 3 men think that he is laughing at them. They beat him so much that he starts bleeding from his mouth. Arthur was trying to tell them about his disorder, but all three don't listen to him, and Arthur gets angry at all three and takes out his gun. He shoots all three of them and runs away from there, thinking that he has killed 3 people. He locks himself in a bathroom. At first, he was scared, but here suddenly he starts dancing. As if he had no regrets now, he was quite relaxed, and then when he comes home, the news is playing on TV in which Thomas is speaking. He says that the 3 people who were killed were my men and they were killed by a clown. But here the poor people are supporting the clown instead of feeling sorry for these 3 murderers, because they are protesting against the rich people and the appearance of clowns. From there, Arthur goes to his psychiatrist. She tells him that we are meeting today for the last time, because the government has stopped giving us funds, and after this, I will not be able to treat you for free. And Arthur again breaks down a lot, and being sad, he comes out of there. Then we see the Arthur who is trying to laugh at people in the comedy show, but he is unable to make them laugh. In anxiety, he begins to laugh loudly. It seems that because of this, his show gets spoiled and he goes to home. When he comes home, Mom tells him to post this letter for Thomas, and after reading the letter he cannot believe his eyes. He goes to Mother and says, "Why did you hide everything from me?" His mother tells him, "Son, I did not do it intentionally. Thomas and I had feelings for each other even though we also wanted to marry. But I was very poor and he is very rich, so we could not marry because of the social norms." Arthur leaves to meet his father. When he reaches there, Thomas's own son is standing behind the gate of his house, and then in front of him Arthur acts like children to make him laugh. But then there comes Thomas's worker and says to that kid, "It is not good to talk with a stranger." And he tells Arthur to leave. Arthur says, "I will leave after revealing the truth. My mother served for 30 years at Thomas's house. They liked each other, and I am not someone else's son but Thomas's son." The worker says that you and your mother are both mad. She has made a fake story from herself. He has nothing to do with Thomas. Hearing this, Arthur feels very bad and he leaves from there. When he reaches home, he comes to know that Mom has had a health attack and is shifted to the hospital. 2 police officers arrive at him as he is sitting outside. They ask him, "Do you know about the 3 victims who were murdered on the train?" Arthur says, "No, how can I know?" He knows that her mother has been interrogated with the same question by a police officer. Because of this, his mom got attacked. He goes inside to his mother, where a single mother is also present. Then the TV broadcasts news, and there is also the same Arthur's favorite TV host, that comedian who was his ideal. He starts watching his show fondly. During watching, he sees his face shown on the TV screen. Actually, the comedian is making fun of him when the Arthur was laughed at in a comedy show. Seeing this, he is very upset that my ideal is making fun of me. I had got motivation from him. He is not believing in it. Thomas comes to the house and the TV is broadcasting the news that the condition of the city has become very bad. The poor people have come out on the streets wearing clown masks and are striking against the rich people. And they are all opponents of Thomas. Arthur is much happy after knowing that all of them are wearing clown masks. He feels that for the first time he has been praised by someone. Now where those poor people were on strike was a theater. Rich people were watching a movie inside, and Thomas was also there. Police arrived there in order to stop that riot. There is commotion everywhere, and taking advantage of this, Arthur moves inside the theater. He goes to the washroom of the theater where Thomas also came, and then comes to him and politely says, "I am your son. My mother and you used to be together." Thomas says to him, "I don't know about any lady by this name," and he strongly punches him. As a result, his nose begins to bleed. Arthur goes home, and after some time he is called by the police. Actually, they wanted to interrogate Arthur about that day when those 3 men had been killed. Arthur also comes to know that his best-loved comedian has also invited him to his show. In fact, the clip which was shown in his show, due to this, the popularity of his show had increased. People liked him. He gets very happy and gets ready and goes out there, but he remembers that Thomas's worker had said that his mother is crazy, so he goes to that mental hospital where his mother was once treated. He asks those people for his mother's file, and from there he steals the file and runs away. It was written in the file that the Arthur's mother had a relationship with someone else. He used to torture her physically, and during this time the Arthur was also injured, due to which he is suffering from this disease today. From there he directly goes to his friend's single mother, but here we have come to know that she does not exist. She was just in his imagination that he used to visualize her. Arthur is much upset because of his mother's wound. He goes to the hospital and kills his mother with a pillow. Coming to the house, he finds a picture behind which it was written that "I love your smile," which was written by Thomas, and this picture belongs to his mother. From here he realizes that his mother was not telling a lie. He starts doing his clown makeup, and here he is very sad and he is not understanding anything what is happening around him. Then his same friend appears there. He says, "I want to ask about your mother's recent murder and the killing of 3 persons in train." Arthur thinks they have again come to destroy his life. Then he kills his friend violently. Now after this he gets ready and wears his clown costume. He was preparing to go in his favorite comedian's show. He is happy and goes on dancing on the way. 2 police officers also arrive there who were investigating the train incident. Then he runs away from there and enters the train. There were many other people in the train wearing clown costumes. The police could not find him among so many people, so taking advantage of this, he goes out of there and goes towards his favorite comedian's show. When Arthur goes in front of him seeing clown costume, he asks Arthur, "Are you also revolting against aristocratic people?" Arthur requests him, "Don't expose me before the people except for this fact, that I am an ordinary clown," and then their live show starts. The audience is very happy to see him. His favorite comedian questions him that "Why have you come here as a clown?" Then the Joker tells him that he always wanted to be happy, and I wanted to spread happiness in people too. People liked me in this look, so I preferred to come as such. Here he talks about something shocking. He tells in front of everyone in this live show that he killed the 3 people on the train that day. He says, "I revealed it before you because many poor people ended till now. Many people of the upper class violently killed the poor people. But till today no one noticed, no one raised their voice against rich people and remembered poor people. Why do people are raising their voices if I have killed any rich man? Is there no equality for the whole of humanity? Is there any specialty among the wealthy people? The society has become very bad. It is only for its own benefit. And if today you have called me in the show, because the popularity of your show was increasing due to my presence." But Arthur's favorite comedian says, "It is not at all." He gets angry that he is still lying and shoots him in front of everyone. People are frightened and begin to run outside. But Arthur is seen as confident here. He is not afraid of anyone. Police arrest Joker or Arthur for this crime, and police begin to take him far, getting him into the vehicle. Then Arthur observes that there are many people supporting him on the way. Some of them get in the ambulance and by speeding it collide with the police car. So the police car is crashed and the clown has come outside now. He stands in the same vehicle, uniting with those people. Everyone was praising him, and his mouth and nose were bleeding enough, and he draws a smiling curve with the blood and preening his hand begins to laugh. Now he had become the ideal of everyone. He was very happy that people are finally praising him and appreciating him. On the other hand, we see Thomas, who is leaving the city with his present wife and his son, but a clown standing aside kills Thomas and his wife, firing his gun, but he does not say anything to his son. The scene changes and Arthur is seen by psychiatrist. He is shown near the rest. He is laughing there too. Then the psychiatrist asks him why you keep laughing without any reason. Then Arthur tells her, "You will never understand this feeling," and go out of there saying this. There was blood on the bottom of his shoe, as it is evident that how a good person turned into a murderer, and this movie also teaches us the lesson that an innocent victim becomes a victimizer if he is treated ill. He was agonized and pained too much that he became apathetic. Now he was solemnly contented with his life, and the movie also ends here. Thank you for watching.